Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting and fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker Dingy build series. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. Alright, so last episode we left off on putting the top end of the mast together and the bottom part with the cleats on it and everything. I've got the mast step thing here put in with the screws and the wing nuts underneath. So I think what I want to try to do now is to actually put the mast up and see if I can get a measurement from the star knobs here to what that distance is here. I'm thinking it's somewhere between 9 and 12 inches, I think, but it's kind of hokey. And also I got to do the one on the front here. So I think I've got a plan in place. Not sure how I'm going to do this to show you guys, but let me figure something out and we'll see if we can at least get a measurement here today. All right, so I had some these little bungee doohickeys here that you use to hold tarps down and stuff. I had these squirreled away for years. So I finally dug them out, and I've got them kind of temporarily attached here just to hold the wire in place so that I can use my tape measure, I think, to get kind of a better measurement. So it's not like these are going to be what I'm going to end up using, I'm trying to say, but at least they'll hold the wires to the spot where I can at least get a measurement on them and see what the distance is that I need for a turnbuckle. So let's see if we can set you up here somewhere and get you a look at that. All right, so here goes nothing. I'm sure there's going to be some rocking and bumping around going on the camera, but can't be helped. Alright, that's in the spot. Now, in the manual they say that the mast should be tilted back. I can't remember how much, but we'll figure that out when we get the right stuff. But this way I can see here that I need right around, probably somewhere centered around 7 inches or so, maybe a little bit less because we're not really pulling very tight here. So probably no more, I'd say no more than 7. So yeah, so if we're max 7, 4 to 7 would be good right there if I could find a turnbuckle that fit that. And then let me just check here up in front. And sorry, I'm not going to be able to show this, but so that one's a little bit more. So that one is looking, probably 9.5 to 10. So I do need a little bit longer one for the front. All right, that's all I wanted to do is so I can get the turnbuckles here, get them on order. So let me, we'll pause here and let me see. I think that's it for today. I do have, I have painted finished touching up most of the pieces inside. So I think maybe tomorrow or the next day we can start putting some of the other hardware on. We have to put the Orlock risers on, the pintle on the back. Well, we still have to put the rudder together. So yeah, we got plenty to do. Probably work on that tomorrow. All right then. Yesterday I got the boat back in the shed and taken apart, and since I've already talked to CLC boats, I requested a new gasket because this one was too small, and the answer was no, that's the way we make them. They make them this small because it's they think it's too hard to align, to get the alignment right, and so they make it smaller so that you've got more wiggle room to get them on. And if I gave them the right size, they would the size that I wanted, they would go ahead and quote me a dollar amount for whatever gasket I wanted. So I said, no, that's okay, I'll take care of it. So I'm not sure, maybe They might be right on this one, and but I just don't like the way this is, and I mean, I think it needs to come out to the edges. Anyways, so I got a plan. Oh yeah, so once I came back and looked at the picture here, you can see it's a little bit short on the edge. It would be nice if they actually told you in the manual that this would be too small and to center it up. And also the other thing is I don't agree with their the way they have you apply it. They have you really apply it wet, it looks like, where contact adhesive should be applied to both surfaces, let dried, and then put together. So anyways, I've got a plan to get this done, and here's where I start having problems with my audio. But anyways, I'm showing you this sheet of rubber that I got from Amazon for around $30. It's a 1/4 inch versus the 1/8 inch thick stuff that CLC buys, and it's a 2x4 sheet. And I think this will turn out pretty good here. And just showing and talking about how I'm going to set it up and get going. All right, so I've got my my CAD done here, my cardboard aided design. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty darn close. The holes are the main thing, and I think I've got them pretty well centered. And so I think it's time to take this and then transfer it on to the rubber. Now I'll show you. Let me go ahead and get you set up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this and what I'm thinking. All right, so I got the rubber gasket material that I'm going to use here. So let me throw this guy on here. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and mark out, I'll do an outline of the whole thing. And then I'm going to cut, I'm not going to cut it to exact. I'm going to probably take both, I'm going to take these angles off on both sides, and then I'll probably come in here and take the top off and then come down and then across. So I want to make it smaller than this whole big sheet, but I don't want to make it exact right yet, because I still think the way to do this is to put the contact cement on both sides and then put this in and then go back and trim it up around the outside. But I'll know that. Let me see how hard this is to cut. And also then when I do the offcuts, I'm also thinking for the holes here that I'd really like to use a hole saw. So I'm hoping I can use a hole saw. If I go slow, maybe we won't melt this rubber and we can cut through it. So we'll see. So let me get at that. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mark the outline, and it probably won't show up on camera, but I checked and I should be able to see this pretty good using this magic marker, or this thing here, whatever it's called. And again, this here is really to give me a guide on where to place the contact cement when we get around to it, and also hopefully I'll be able to use it for if I can drill the holes out. All right, you probably can't see that at all, but I can just about see the outline, and that should be good enough to get me started. So yes, then I'll trim it up and then get the holes in, and then put contact cement on both pieces, and then probably use slats, or I'm thinking even paper on the boat, and then I'll put this part on the boat and center up the holes, and then pull the slats or the paper out kind of like how you do Formica when you do if you do that kind of stuff. Is this oh, that was this right here. All right, that's good. All right, yep, so we're good. So that's the plan. So let me see how hard it is to cut this stuff. Let me try the scissors here first. Ooh, well, I got a fairly clean cut, but boy, I tell you, that's pretty rough. Now that I got a piece of scrap here, I'm going to try a couple other things. I'm hoping it's not that the X-Acto knife is the best one. Maybe a sharp utility knife here will work. Yep, sharp utility knife might be the way to do it. That came out pretty good. It's even a little bit better edge. All right, well, I think that's going to have to, the rest of this is going to have to wait for another day. I heard some thunder, so if I don't want to get stuck out in the shed all afternoon, we'll go ahead and pick this back up tomorrow. All right then, so I just got done trimming out this little bit section here. I still got quite a bit of rubber here left, but that was, like I said, more to get the weight down and make it a little bit easier to handle. The next thing I want to do is the holes. Now I was trying to figure out the elegant way to do this, and I think, so I did this test piece right here using a hole saw, and what I did is I took, I don't even know what size this is. This is a 25 millimeter, I think is what it says, an inch. So it's an inch hole saw, and I drilled a hole in this piece of wood, and then I clamped a piece of rubber between it and another board, and then drilled down through it, and got a pretty decent looking hole. So that's what I'm going to do on these guys here. I don't think I even need to clamp it. I'm just going to go ahead and center this up right where it needs to be. Make sure I got a good hold on it here. There we go, that's all it took. The other one real quick here. Yep. Pretty good. So let me get you set back up here. I'm gonna do a test fit here. I may do a couple of spots where I want to have alignment with the outside edge, but let me take a look at it first and see what it looks like. All right, we are looking sweet. So I just trimmed up the edges here, so now I've got a spot that I know this way about where it goes, and these are centered up, and the holes are centered up real nice. So I like that. So I think I think I'm ready to contact cement this down. I got to do a couple more things here. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do. Might need to make some slats up. So the idea is to have something to put the glue on, let it dry, and then have something underneath that I can slide out when I'm sure that the alignment is correct. Because if I come in yeah, I'm afraid I need something there, because trying to get this lined up first I think is going to be a little bit too much. So let me work on that, and then we'll be back and hopefully gluing this thing on. All right, I think I'm set. I got some pieces of wood that we'll use hopefully, and I've already put the this stinky stuff on the piece of rubber, so now I just got to slap it on the boat here. I was a little bit worried about doing this is a pretty big area, and you got to let the this glue, this contact cement, dry before you put it on, but you don't want to let it dry too much. So I was a little bit worried that this might be a little bit too big of an area, but I think we'll be okay as long as I keep moving at a good pace. And if this doesn't work, I'm not sure. I had thought about when I do this, doing the own gasket, there's no reason that I could think of why I couldn't make it into parts. So, you know, make it thirds or something like that, and then do it that way. Since the rubber is going to stick to it anyways, and it should stay where it's at. It would be another solution there. This is pretty good. This contact cement, I got it at I think it was Home Depot, and it's the a gel formula. It's pretty expensive. They're pretty proud of this this contact cement. I think it was like $20 for this this can. I was like, oh geez, no contact cement was that expensive, but I guess it is. For these other holes, for the holes up here at the top, I'm just gonna, once I get it back together, I'm just gonna drill through them. That's what I did with the other part that the other gasket that they had sent me, and that seemed to work okay. Not great, but okay. All right, so I think you're supposed to wait, apply even coat on both surfaces. If the dried surface has gloss, sufficient adhesive has been applied. Allow first coat to dry before applying next. Allow both surfaces to dry 15 to 20 minutes. Dry contact will feel tacky and appear matte. All right, so we got 15 to 20 minutes to wait here. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, but it looks like it's about ready. So let me put the boards I'm going to use down here. Let's see, so I think I had this one about like this, about like that. Middle. All right, now the hard part is getting this flipped over. All right, those holes look good. That looks good. All right, let's take out this. I'll work. I think you're supposed to work from the middle out, but I think I want to work from this side in over. Might have needed to wait just a little bit longer, but I think we're still okay. All right, well that went pretty darn good. Everything's still centered up. Now they say you're supposed to put pressure on it, and there's a roller that you can get that gives you some good leverage, but I didn't want to go buy one of those, so I found this darn thing in the kitchen. I'm not sure what it's doing in the kitchen, but it's never been used, so I think this is a good opportunity to give it a workout here. I don't think I can get as much pressure on it as they want. But as long as we get good contact, and then I'll put some weight on it here in a minute. Yep, good deal. Let me start putting some stuff on it here. I think this is good, so we'll get some good pressure on there anyways in a couple spots, and let this sit for how long does this take? I think it's like 24 hours or some ridiculous thing. Reaches maximum holding strength in 7 days. All right, well, we're going to be done with it before then. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and give it a day here, and looks like we're going to get rain most of today, so it'll be a good chance to get inside and do some other things, I think. So we'll pause here and see what's next. Alrighty, it's another day out here in the shed, and it's been 24 hours or so. So hopefully I know the contact cement there is set pretty good. So all I did is take the piece of plywood, and I used my template to drill in 2 holes for the 2 bolts sticking out the front, and then raised it up on some 2x4s. So this just gives me a way to come around the outside here with my utility knife and cut the excess away, and then and I can do it on both sides here. Hopefully you can see that. And so it's just going to take a little bit of while on my hands and knees. I do have the oscillating tool, and I tried it on a piece, but I'm not sure I can control that oscillating tool enough, because what I don't want to do is screw up the paint on this side. So I'll just go around with the X-Acto knife, or the utility knife, and maybe the X-Acto knife, and just come around the outside here and trim this away. So I'll set you up, and maybe we'll let you take a gander for a little bit here at how we do, maybe just on this side here. All right, well, here goes nothing. This could be good and bad. We'll see how it goes. I think this stuff sands pretty easily too. Let me just do something real quick here. That actually smooths it out pretty good too. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll do this cut, and I'll get it as close as I can, and then afterwards we'll come back and sand down the edges. I just did a test piece there, and I think sanding down the edge will smooth it out quite a bit, and give us a pretty good finished look there. So I think that's the plan here. Good deal. All right, so I think I got the method down. Like I said, I'll get this trimmed off, and then I'll come back and show you and see if we can sand the edges down to pretty them up a little bit. All right then, so I got it all trimmed up. It was a little bit of a chore, but not too bad. A couple spots that I want to make sure I clean up. You might be able to see, I've got just a few spots that are pretty rough. But again, I'm going to go ahead and take some sandpaper to it and see if I can smooth this down a little bit, and clean this up. So let me see how that goes. And well, it's only 91 out here, so what the heck? What? All right. Anyways, yeah. Let me. In fact, I'll probably set you up, and let's see if we can show you some of the sanding going on here. All right. So I just got my sanding block and some 80 grit sandpaper here. It's probably pretty. One thing I don't want to do is pull up on it, so side to side and down is probably okay, but it's on there good. I mean, I can lift the corners a little bit, but it's only because I haven't sanded them down yet. Of course, I'll be sanding into the paint. cleaned up pretty good from what I can see. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go around and try to smooth out the worst areas. It does, when you sand it, it does smooth out the edges quite a bit. It's because it's got this rough texture to it, but sanding it kind of smooths it out, gets rid of some of the nublins. Yep, all right, so I'll keep doing this, and we'll be back, well, I guess when I'm done. Alrighty, that's as much as I'm going to do on it. It cleaned up pretty good. The biggest help was the X-Acto for some of the bigger chunks, and as long as I cut down only, it went pretty good. And like I said, this stuff is seems pretty tight. So I'm just going to go ahead and I got quite the mess here with the dust everywhere. So I'm going to vacuum it out and then see if I can get the boat put back together, and then keep on going. So hopefully this does it for the gasket. It needs some, there's a couple spots that I'd really like to paint, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to put it together and keep on going. All right, should be the last thing I got to do. So I got it back together. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, as long as you don't look at it too close, it looks pretty good. And I like it. It's a little bit thicker, and it fills up this gap a little bit more. Yeah, so I think overall it came out pretty good. So now I just need to drill through for these top holes. So I got my, I think it's a 5/16" bit here. So hopefully this goes pretty smoothly. Yep, no problem. Let me get the bolt and star nut thing there. Yep, like that a lot. Let me do the other side, and then not sure. I think I'm about done for today. So I'll finish up this other side, do a little bit of cleanup, and then we'll probably be back out here in the morning or another day. Alrighty then, another day, another problem. So here we go. Installing the oar lock risers and sockets. All right, so they give us spots on the boat to put them in. Cool, good spots. I can put them there. And then they start talking about the oar lock risers are epoxied into the rails. I kind of knew that, and I kind of left this side of the oar lock riser unfinished, but I painted the rail on the boat where it goes. So that's a little bit of a problem. Right now I'm thinking that I'm going to not use epoxy for a couple reasons. First, the main one is that I think, these are, I'm pretty sure these are whatever, real strong wood, hardwood, but I would expect that these sticking up on the edge of the boat, like they show there, are going to get some wear and tear on them, and I don't think I want to have to remove epoxy later on. So I'm going to be, when I do this install, I'm not going to be using epoxy. I've got plenty of room to put longer screws through here and into the rail on the boat. So I think I'm going to use 4200 on the bottom, and then put 2 and maybe 3 screws through, all the way through to the rail, and mount them that way. And that way I've got a way to get them off later on that doesn't involve having to get rid of the epoxy. So that's first thing. I think that's kind of that's more of a personal preference. But the real issue comes, okay, so they show let's just socket a few ounces, install the angled inboards, dry fit. Yep. So anyways, they go through and they tell you how to do it, but you get to the part of doing the dry fit, and you can see, so this outside, this bevel on the outside here goes to the outside of the boat, and the oar lock risers go on the inside, just like that, except there's a problem. Hopefully you can see that, and it's because these oar lock risers, of course, are whatever they are, forged, and there's that that angle there has got a cove on it, basically, and we don't have any on this. I went back through all the book, and they don't tell you anywhere to round over these edges, but then when you look at the pictures here, it's pretty clear that they're round over. They've got a pretty good round over on them, on both sides of them, in fact, even down here. So yeah, so we need to do a round over on these guys that I've already painted and I'll probably go ahead and do them on both sides, and then have to repaint them. So that's where I'm at. I've got 4 of these oar lock risers that I'm going to have to round over the edge on and repaint. So let's get you set up. I've got the sketchy router table set up. So let me get you moved over there, and we'll put the round over on these guys, and then I'll go ahead and slap some paint on them. All right, so I got my sketchy router table set up here, really sketchy, and I've got a 1/4 inch round over bit here installed. So let's go ahead and I've already did one test run on this piece of wood here, and we're pretty close. When I put this in, I'm going to be putting it in with 4200. Anyways, I've got to put it in the screws, so I'm not 100% sure. It's this one that was the test. So I think we're pretty darn close. I guess I could go up. Yeah, I don't want to round over too much on this. Let's go ahead and we'll try one here with this 1/4 inch. If we have to move up the size, we will. Yep, I'm going through this effort. I think I'm going to go ahead and move up a side. This is pretty close, but it's still just a little bit off. So let me go ahead and pause here, and I'll go up to the next size round over bit. Alrighty, just realized my microphone was off for that last part. Not sure how long it was off for. But anyways, I went with a 3/8 inch round over bit, and I've got the 4 done. I only had a little bit of a tear out on this one here. And like I said, and the other problem I ran into was not being able to round over this edge because of this bevel here. I could probably do it like that, but even that, it wouldn't, let's see if you can see here. See, even that, we wouldn't get very much round over that way. So I'm going to go ahead and just sand down these other edges to give it a little bit of round over. So that's what I'm going to do next is sand these up a little bit and round this edge over just using a sander, and put some paint on them. And I'm not gonna bore you with that. The next things up are doing the I've got the rudder assembly over there that needs to go in. So that might be tomorrow. We'll have to see about that. And then the this hatch there is about the only thing I need to do while the boat's in the shed here, I think. I'll go back through, but the rudder assembly, the oar locks, and the hatch, and then I think we're just about ready to go in the water. Pretty scary. All right then, so another day out here in the shed working on the boat, and so now we're working on the rudder and tiller and all that mess. So I'm all the way through to here. So this is actually one part where they tell you to do the drill and fill and drill again. So I've already done that on the tiller. And now we're on to the drill the hole for the pivot screw into the tiller handle. Did that, and then so now we got to set the handle onto the rudder case cassette and use the hole and handle to match drill a hole through the rudder case like this. And I've got the hardware, so let's see if we can get this done. Should be pretty straightforward. We kind of got it set up a little bit here. So I've got the tiller and the rudder cassette, and I'm just using a trying to use a clamp here to keep this together. So they don't really show. They kind of show that this back here is should be kind of flush, and then looking at it, if your pivot point's here, it should be okay to be flush here. So I think that's what we're going for. It should work. So what's the worst that can happen, right? So I got a 1/4 inch bit here. I'll probably get a little bit of tag on here. No, it's pretty smooth. All right, well that was pretty easy. Hopefully this bolt fits through. Just go through from this side. There we go. Take that thing off. This is a nylock nut here, so I'm going to need to get a wrench. But so far this looks pretty good. I mean, I think it's doing what it's supposed to, which is a big surprise. So let me get a screwdriver and a wrench there. That doesn't seem too bad. All right, so that part's done. Let's see what the destructions have us do next. I think we've got to put the so we got to put the pintles on. Boy, it would have been a lot easier if I'd done the handle last, I think, here, but we'll go ahead and do it their way. So we got to put the pintles and gudgeons in here. So we're putting the pintles on the rudder cassette. Pins are different lengths. Yep, that's right. Lower pintle engage first. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and get the hardware together for this, and then we'll get this in place. Well, alrighty then. So I've got the hardware here. These are the 2 pintles, and or at least most of the hardware. These are the 3 number 10 panhead 1 3/4 inch panhead machine screws I need. I don't have the number 8 1/2 inch stainless steel panhead screws. I looked through my bag of hardware that I still have, and these are the screws. These are 3/4 inch, and they won't work because in this location here where they want you to use them, it would interfere with the rudder if you had a through bolt like the other ones. So they don't want you to go all the way through, and this thickness is just about a 1/2 inch. Where'd I go? Let's see here. So yeah, it's a little bit less than 1/2 inch. So yeah, so I don't want to use 3/4 inch and go through this. Then the other problem I have is these nice looking pintles here. Well, let me see if I can show you here. They don't fit. This is about I think this is about 1 3/4 inches, and these are I'm gonna have to widen these out to get them to fit. Now I looked up, and this this race light does have other pintles, so I may end up having to go directly to them to get the right pintles. We'll see if we can make these work. I'm not real happy. I've tried this one here at the bottom, and it's going to take quite a bit more more work. I'm going to have to widen it out in this area and then straighten it back out in this area to get it to fit in here. So I'll give that a shot, and if I don't get that, then if it doesn't look right, or if I break them, then I'll go to this race light company and see if I can order some, and I'll have to get I'll have to run up. I can run up to the hardware store and get these guys. That's not a problem, except having to run up to the hardware store to get those guys. So anyways, let me pause here, see what I can do with these guys first, and then once I get them fitted, then we'll have to drill through. They say to use a drill press, makes it easier, since you have to. These are through bolted, so I'll have to get the drill press set up, and once I get them on, then maybe I can drill the holes. But anyways, let me pause here and see what I can do. All right, yeah, so I looked, this race light, they do have pintles and gudgeons that'll fit this. The thickness of this rudder cassette is just a little bit under 1.5 inches, and this pintle here, I haven't touched this one. This came right out of the bag. Is the inside dimension is about 1 1/8 inches at the narrowest point down here. So the problem is this one here I've tried to widen out, but if you don't get this right, it's going to end up on one side or the other. So you want to, and then if you try to do it to the other one, if you get cockeyed a little bit on either one, then you're going to run into problems. So I think I'll go ahead and send an email to CLC Boats and say, hey, what the heck? What the heck again? And probably not get a satisfactory answer and end up buying the ones from Racelight. So anyways, for now, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this episode here. I'll go ahead and off camera today, I'll probably finish up the other hatch deck plate, get that done. I've got the oar lock risers. I got a second coat of paint on them this morning. So got some progress to do, but it'll probably be maybe 2 weeks before my next video, might even be 3. I've got some things to do. I've got the boat off the trailer. I want to work on the trailer. I'm not going to show you that. That's just going to be me out in the sun swearing and getting that set up. But so I don't want to show you that. So like I said, it'll be maybe 2 or 3 weeks before another video comes out. But we're getting close. We got light at the end of the tunnel, and if I expect to order those Racelight pintles and gudgeons, and once I get them in and if they fit, I'll let you know what the part numbers on that were. But for now, I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me, and please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.